So here I am the night before the surgery. I'm very nervous. I'm trying to play cool with the girlfriend, but I'm very nervous. Um, I'm sure it's gonna go fine. I'd never gone under the knife, so this is all new to me. But here goes nothing.
Well, hello everybody. This is a second video, long overdue to be honest, on my hair transplant surgery. For those who've been following me, I announced back in March that I was going to do a hair restoration surgery called FUE, follicle unit extraction. I arrived to the decision because I was really getting self-conscious with a lot of videos. I showed some examples in that video and it was getting pretty bad. And I was at the point where I was going to shave it off, but I wanted to consider my options because I love my hair. So what I'm going to do in this video is kind of show everybody some videos and some pictures I've taken since day one up until now, and just to kind of give you a first-hand experience from the surgery, the recovery, and what to expect if you're considering this type of surgery. But okay, I had to go to Houston, Texas. I'm in San Antonio. I had to go to Houston, Texas for the procedure, where there was a surgeon who had been doing it for over 30 years. I got there 6 in the morning. They had a little paper with some diagrams of heads, and he kind of more or less drew what he was wanting to do for my head. I had some hair loss in the back of my head and in the front. And he gave me some options. We talked for about 30 minutes, and I decided to go with a certain package. Now, the surgery can be a little pricey. For me, it cost $7,000, but I do have financing options, and I'm paying $300 a month on it. But after you speak with him and you go and select the type of procedure or like a pattern that he suggested, you go to this other room where they prep you. And that's where they draw lines along your head. You look at the lines and you're like, okay, do you want the hairline lower? Do you want it higher? You kind of work with it. They recommend you don't go like too low where you would look completely different and drastic from your current appearance. But they do that, then they take some photos just to have a before and the after later on when you go back for your 6-month evaluation. And again, I thought my hair was okay, but when he drew the hairline, you can see in this photo here, I go, isn't that a little too high? I want it lower. He goes, well, we're already decreasing your hairline pretty significantly. And I'm like, no, but my hairline starts here. He goes, no, no, no. He grabbed my hair and he pulled it back. He goes, your hairline's back here. I'm like, oh, it's much worse than I thought. So, okay, we'll go with that line. So the next thing they do is they provide a local, and you're like in a barbershop type of chair, but it's a surgical chair. They have a TV there with music and all the streaming services you want because you're going to be there all day. The local is applied like a tattoo. If you've had a tattoo, you recognize the gun. They're doing this circular motion over your scalp, front all the way to the back. And after a while, you don't feel the needle anymore. You just kind of feel the vibration of the needle just puncturing your scalp. And the next thing they do is once I don't feel anything, that's when they make the incision. For those who don't know about the incision piece, they cut a strip of your skin behind your scalp back here. And when they remove it, there's the hair follicles. So what they do is they give it to a team. There's a team of like 10 women behind me, all in surgical outfits. And they go, and from what I understand, they cut the strip of hair in pieces, and each of them extracts the follicle all the way down to the root. So each hair has a root, and they're extracting over, I think it was 3,800 that they took out. And I have to be a little graphic here. So as they're cutting, the doctor says, all right, I need 2 nurses, and the nurses are putting their heads. One nurse is on one side, one nurse is on the other, and they're holding my head down like this. And he's making the incision. And again, I can't feel anything. I can just feel the pressure of the scalpel. And once he made the incision, I can feel my face sort of drop. I know that's kind of terrifying. I'm like, man, this is probably how one of Buffalo Bill's victims feels like. But you can hear the cutting. And once he makes the cut, he clamps your skin down in three areas. 1, 2, 3. But for a moment, I felt my face kind of like slide. And the nurses just kind of did this again. So it was uncomfortable. It was pretty terrifying to have that sensation again. I'd never experienced anything like that. Then they apply the sutures, and you have to leave them on for, I believe, 14 days. That's another story. So the local's there. They apply it every couple of hours because it tends to go away. And then the doctor comes with a needle, and he draws. Well, first he draws dots. I'm sorry. Let me rewind. He draws all these dots on your scalp. over, like I said, 3,600 of them. He just dot of the pattern of the hair, more or less mapping out where he wants the hair follicles to be planted at. Some back here, some here on the top. So that takes about an hour or two. Then they give you lunch, and I'm watching Justice League on this TV here, and then he comes back, and that's where the surgery really begins. Is when he takes the hair follicles, and the nurses come in. There's two nurses, usually one on this side, one on the other, and they start taking the hair follicles they remove from your scalp and planting them in each dot of your hair. So again, the doctor is the one who maps out the dots, right? And it's the nurses who plant the hairs. And they were they kept me informed the entire process. They were telling me like the real thin hairs are going to go in the front, and the thicker they are, they're going to go in the back. They call them 1, 2s, and 3s. I think 1 is the thinnest and 3 is the thickest. And they so it can grow naturally. Hair plugs back in the day, they were always hair follicles, but what they did in the early 2000s is what they told me is they planted them in groups of 3 or 4. So that's why it looked fake. So there were so many hairs growing out of one follicle. So now they're planting them individually with each strand. And again, I got there at 6 a.m. I didn't leave till 7 p.m. So I was in this chair all day. By 5 o'clock, I was exhausted. I was falling asleep in the chair because it just this constant pressure, this constant poking in your head. And I remember leaving. They put me in a bandage. They said I can remove it the next day.
Well, it's the day after my surgery, and I'm very much not in pain, but if everything feels very tight. There I am. You can see how the grafts are just kind of healing there. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I'm not gonna lie. Halfway through the procedure, I was like, why am I doing this? I should have just went bald. But I know it'll pay off. I know it'll pay off.
But my girlfriend was there. I love her to death. She was really supportive, but I walk out and she looks at me. She's like, oh my God. And my head was just swollen red. And I'll have photos here. And I was just dizzy. I was tired. And the next, I believe, week, when you went to bed, you have to sleep upright, like in a chair, because you don't want to sleep on your head to possibly remove the roots of the hairs and the follicles to fall out. So they're very adamant, like, okay, when you sleep, you have to sleep upright. Get a sleep travel pillow and just sleep upright. And that was probably the most uncomfortable week I've had because, again, you have to sleep sitting up in a way. And you're not supposed to wash it until a day later. And they gave you the specialized shampoo. And when they said when you wash your hair, use like a spray gun. Not with the stream, but with the mist. Just slowly wet your hair. And they said get a cup of warm water and slowly pour on your scalp and just slowly wash your hair. And do that for 5 days. And they gave me some sprays to put on at night before you go to bed and sprays to apply 3 times a day. So I was constantly spraying my scalp. And you can see some of the photos here as well.
So I don't know if you can see, but yeah, it's pretty obvious there. I look like a Klingon today. There's definitely some swelling. Or my evil horns are finally growing out. But yeah, this looks ridiculous. Look at that. That looks so horrible. Oh God, does it hurt? No, not really, but yeah, definitely swelling. It looks like a bigger nose. I don't know. Anyway, this is day 3, and I'm still healing, obviously.
And you have to be careful with the sunlight. They said don't get any sunburn or sun exposure on your scalp for 3 months. So I have to wear a hat all the time. But there's some times they said don't wear it all day, but just if you have to go out, just wear a hat. They give you a hat, but it's like this huge, ugly, oversized trucker hat. And the itching, my God, you just had to focus and not itch. It's just the craziest sensations that you just want to go and just scratch it. But if you do, you're just going to ruin the whole procedure. So I took photos every day, and now we're like about mid-April, and I'm looking, and before you know it, there's a shedding phase. Like some of the hairs that you see, you're looking in the mirror and you're touching these little bitty hairs that are there. It's kind of weird, but then they start falling out. But the root is still planted there. It's just the hair follicle that came out. So, but the roots are still there and they grow over time. It takes about a year, 8 months to a year is what they told me to see the full benefits of the surgery. And here I am in the 4th month. And I have to admit, after the 2nd month, I think I'm in July now, and I was getting discouraged. I was like complaining with my girlfriend, look, I don't see anything. I don't see any changes whatsoever. And I thought I wasted my money. I'm like, I should have just shaved it off. But all of a sudden, just recently, I look in the mirror and I see less of my scalp. Here's the most recent photo. And for the first time since the surgery is when I can see the benefits of it. And it's not fully grown yet. I'm still halfway there. I'm 4 months in. And again, the full benefits are 8 to 12 months. So I'm here to tell you that I'm completely happy and satisfied with the surgery. It's looking great. I'm getting that confidence again. Believe it or not, little things like that. It could be vanity, whatever you want to say, but I'm getting confidence again. I will admit there are some things, let me tell you, I guess some cons about it. The one con is that with all the sutures, the local that's applied with the gun, all the punctures with the needle and the planting, I can't feel portions of my scalp. There's certain parts that are just, there's no feeling there. It feels like I'm just touching something else. And they said that was a possible side effect, that some of the feeling on your scalp will be permanently gone, but it can come back over years or months. So there's still some areas of my scalp, like I said, I can't feel. The other is that you have to continue to be on Rogaine. I thought, hey, these are new hairs. I don't need Rogaine. You still have to put Rogaine on the back of your head to continue the hair follicles to be active and growing. And the other is finasteride, which is a pill that you take every day at the same time, which more or less it's a testosterone blocker. This prevents any additional hairs from falling out. And there are some possible side effects, like it can kill your sex drive. And I have to admit, there was a portion where I just wasn't in the mood for a while because, again, you're putting this chemical in your body's adjusting. And like any pill, your body just has to adjust to the intake. But thank God that passed. Because if not, like, fuck it. I'm just shaving it all off. But there was a portion where I was just like, meh, whatever. But you do have to take it every day for the rest of your life. I guess if that's a con, that could be a con. But the results and what I'm seeing, I'm loving it. And again, I'm halfway through. So I intend to do another video 4 months from now to show you the full results of it. But I do know from that previous video that I posted, there are a lot of people saying, hey, let me know how it goes. I'm thinking about that as well. Because for men, it's one of those things, I mean, I know bald is more accepted nowadays with Captain Picard and Vin Diesel, whatever else, Jason Statham. But they can really hit the ego and your confidence when it starts going away, and then when people start like mocking it or making fun of it on social media, doing whatever, it can really affect you deep down. But again, if you're considering the surgery, I wanted to make this video to give you an idea of what to expect and what the process is. Again, it varies per person. People heal faster than others, but I'm here to tell you that I love the decision I made. I'm happy I made it, and I don't regret it one bit.
Hey everybody, the video you just saw I filmed back in August, and I just wanted to do a quick update. We're like now in November actually, and you can see it's really filling in now. And I'm getting very happy with the results. Again, the full results take an entire year. And I know I have some time with that, so I still have a ways till March. But it's really coming in as of late. Again, taking the pills, you have to be consistent with that. But overall, I'm incredibly pleased with the hairline. And again, it's still coming in. I'm making videos again on YouTube. For a while, I was kind of self-conscious about it. But I'm very happy with the results. Again, questions, if you have them, put them down in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. I have some contacts that I can refer to you if you like some detailed like estimates and such. Again, I'd be more than happy to help. Anyway, just want to make a quick update.
As always, guys, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate your time. Again, take care, everybody, and God bless.